Hi, my name is Lara Kudaisi. I help people heal from emotional pain, trauma, childhood dysfunctions for a happily ever after. My story in a nutshell is that I healed from having a child at 19, 14 heartbreaks, 15 abortions, and a divorce. I have created a program titled How They Heal. So I wanted to bring a man to let's hear from the perspective of a man. How is he feeling? And I'm so excited that Teddy Esosa Don Momo agreed to be here.
After a very long time, I was just checking the internet. I just saw, I said, oh my God. I just started seeing some, it was just like reading the story of the person. And seriously, it was not, I wasn't like, let me go and check it.
Yeah.
I was just like getting to the internet and I just started seeing, I was like, my God. So I just like going back, I'm like, whoa, this person's been going through this. We actually got married without even knowing, seriously.
How do you mean?
We actually got married.
So how long was the marriage?
Yeah, it was just 1 year plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 1 year plus.
So at what point, what happened towards the end? Physical
we
end?
traveled. We're planning to this Nigeria, the entire person. I mean, you're so talented in Nigeria, and you're doing so many things. Like it's not really, if you don't really know certain set of people, and especially when the person she actually supported didn't win again. So
Okay.
there was so many pressure coming on her to switch, and she wasn't ready to switch because she, I believe this person. So the best thing was like, let's move to a place where we'll be appreciated. And so we moved to America, and I'm telling you, America, Canada, it was just like, man, this is the place we gotta be. We gotta be here. So we're planning our
Relocation?
yes, relocation. We're actually planning relocation. If the incident hasn't happened, I don't think I'll be here again because I was really, really out. I was like, man, I gotta go. So, but I came back. I left her in America, so I came back to Nigeria to come and like put some things
In order.
because we had some little business here. So let's just like restructure the business so that even though when we're not around, I mean, the thing can
still
be,
function.
yes, that was what I actually came to, to do. And I came back, but she didn't come back. Yeah, so
So what happened?
she was in a, something is like, I'm still thinking about it till date, This was somebody that was not ill. So when you hear about all this, that she was sick, she was having this, no. Yeah, we're actually, after some time now, we're like, okay, let's start thinking about, having our own family. Yeah, we're actually thinking about that, but that will be when we are finally
Settled.
settled, relocated. So going through those normal stuff. So from California, the thing was headed towards Chicago, but because of this emergency, so they had to quickly, so that's stopped. So the next stop was Las Vegas. So that was why they stopped at but the plane was en route to Chicago. So that was it. So but according to they said she just had a lungs failure. Okay. Yes, one of the lungs just failed. And that was it, yeah.
So you go to the hospital?
Go to the hospital, saw her, she was there, unconscious. And, talked, like talking, talk, pray. Sent message to Nigerians, and all over the world joined in prayers. And we were praying, we kept talking. And there was a particular time I was just telling her, I was just teasing her, I was like, finally, I have seen Las Vegas. You must see Las Vegas. And then she just held me.
She was unconscious.
She was unconscious, yes.
Held you, gripped you.
Yes, she now gripped me. when she greeted me, I was like, hey, you know. So that was when I don't know. There was a particular time, and I said, yes, she's responding she was responding to. Because for a very long time, no, I didn't go on social media, but our friends were around.
Okay.
Some of our friends came from London, America. There were a whole lot of people. We have, man, Kefi was big. I'm telling you, you don't know, she was big. The hospital was always filled up. I'm telling you, they were also disturbing. So there were a whole lot of social media things that were going on that I don't even know about. People were just, but what I tried to control was taking pictures. Yes. But they were, you can't tell people not the type. So things were always going on. So when she held me, before I knew what was happening, people already put it out that man, she's responding to treatment and prayers, sir. But cut the long story short, after 15 days of being unconscious, the meter just went straight, and that was just it.
Wow. Thank you, Ted.
And that was June 12th. June 12th.
20 what? Was that? 13. Wow. I don't even know where to start from, but thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this story. Thank you very much. I know, like I said, this is a difficult thing to do. I don't even know what to make of you people coming and responding to this. I'm very honored. I feel so privileged that you want to share.
But the later interpretation in terms of, when Chinozo was saying, she felt like a failure and things like that. For me, mine was, how do I show up and try to help people move in their lives? Because I'm a transformational life coach, I speak and deal with a lot of people who are broken, right? And my job is to motivate, inspire, empower, help you to deal with your dark times in order for you to find your light.
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with myself that, God, I can't do this. I am going to be a fraud to come on my social media platforms, to speak to any of my clients, to speak to any of my subscribers and try and tell them how to overcome difficult times when I am in a very difficult time. And I'll never forget the day that everything changed for me when I sat down and I said, God, I will make a deal with you. You help me to get through this time of grief, and I will make sure that I use this pain for a purpose. That my tears will not be in vain. I won't just cry because I'm crying, but I will cry. But in my crying, those tears will speak a message of deliverance, healing, change, transformation to whoever I encounter. And that was really how I had to interpret it. And I remember sending an email to my subscribers. I had about 1,000 subscribers on my email list. And, normally if you're on my email list, it's very, let's go, it's very, And this time I decided, Banky, just be you. Be vulnerable. Allow people to see your heart. Allow people to see your pain. Take them through that journey, because it's actually through that journey that you're going through that so many people are going to find their healing. And that was probably why you saw a lot of my posts on my Instagram, because I had made the decision that I'm not going to pretend that I'm this superhero, that I'm this, I'm able to just come back and be like, come on, let's go, let's smash those goals. I am going to show that I'm a human person that falls, that has times of brokenness, but I will demonstrate in my journey that even in the midst of your darkness, there will always be a light that will shine, that will overcome any level of darkness. And that was really how I have been able to, through the grace of God, really touch many people's lives around the world without even me knowing. I've had people from different parts of the world send me messages. There's an interview that I did some time ago on Africa Magic that goes all across Africa.
Yes.
And every now and then, I will just get an influx of DMs, an influx of followers saying how much they have been touched by my story and my journey and my healing. And for me, that is how I've interpreted it. That's how I've been able to find meaning in it. And like I said at the beginning when I came up, that we are used to, in society, being told, just shh.
Yeah.
Don't cry too much. I actually remember when I was in my 40 days of confinement, my mum's friends, who were very loving and well-meaning, would say, "Is enough crying. Stop crying. Move on." This is
in
me
the 40 days.
Me trying to even process that. Wait, hold on. Am I now a widow? Is that what my title is now? No more Mrs. I'm now, right? So I'm in the process of still trying to heal. And, you know, people will say to me, "You have to stop crying, no. You just have to get up. You just have to move on. You just have to." And then, like, you know, Chinozo would say that you get to a place where, okay, let me just now be happy with myself. People like, is it not just 5 minutes ago that your husband, that you're now dancing? I remember I posted something on my Instagram, and I was listening to a song when I was dancing, because music is actually one of the most therapeutic ways to heal when you're in pain. And I was dancing to a song that is a silly Afrobeat song. And I had so many messages in my DM, and one in particular said, "I don't understand. You seem so happy that your husband is dead. Did you actually really love him?" And that message took me aback so much, but I used that as an opportunity to educate her that you can't judge someone's ability to grieve with your own understanding of grief. And one of the beautiful things about that particular incident is that she later on became a mentee of mine. And she's somebody that I have, you know, nurtured on through, and she's gone on to do so many wonderful things. But if I had been offended, hurt by that message, I would never have had the opportunity to actually have a direct impact and educate her, because eventually her father passed away. And she then began to understand the methods of my healing that she was able to, use in her own life, that actually helped her to get through her own time. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I have answered the question.
I want to be like you. Firstly, I want to be like you when I grow up, because somebody's saying that to me and then I'm using time to educate them. I'm not educating anybody. Go and jump and hug transformer. That's the next thing I was going to say. Do you get? Because, you know, like people, social media gives people the right to just barge into your life and dictate or tell you how to live, how to grieve, how to walk, how to stand, how to do, you know. So sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm not as calm as you are. Sometimes I remove this therapist something. I'm not wearing any hat today. I want to be a bibish heart. Do you get? And I'll be, "Uncle, please, can you F off my DM? And if you are dragging your leg, I shall block you." You know, so, but that is a good thing. That's what I'm just trying to say, that you at that point in time was, you know, maybe I should say that, do you think that you're being a coach, you know, or being a single mom, or going through all the hardships in your life prepared you for that particular time?
Yeah, I mean, if you remember when I first started, I had talked about different levels of experiences that I've had. And whilst I don't think anything really prepares you for death, especially when it's an unexpected death, you never really are prepared.
Okay.
But I do believe that I have been granted a grace to face hardships and find meaning and purpose in that hardship, to transform it as a leverage for my next level. And I think this is really where transformation comes. It's one thing to be in pain, but it's also another thing to understand that there is a meaning behind your pain. People don't heal because they don't want to see beyond the pain.
Yes.
And when you don't see beyond that pain, you can never, ever, ever move
away.
on. You can't. You will be stuck in that time zone. And for as long as you are stuck in that time zone, guess what? You're actually dead. Because the only time you live is in the now. If you're stuck in your past, if you're stuck in worrying about the future, you are not living, because the future is not here and the past has gone. It's only your now. And so part of what has helped me is constantly bringing myself to this moment. And so moments where I am happy, oh girl, I celebrate that I am happy. I really max it out. I treasure it. I soak it into my fiber and into my bones, because I know that my next moment I may not be happy. And so let me treasure what I have right now. And I think that has been part of the formula for how I am going through my process. I know I seem really upbeat, and you probably think, she's okay. But there are moments in my house where I cry. There are moments I'm like, God, I still don't understand. There's not a day that passes by I don't think about my husband. There's not one day. But I choose, and this is what we all need to understand. Every single one of us here have a choice. If you're choosing to stay in a place of pain, if you're in pain, if you're in turmoil, it's a choice. If you're in release and freedom, it's a choice. It's all a choice. And I constantly, every day, make a choice that, Banker, you know what? You're going to live in the now. Your tomorrow is not guaranteed. Just enjoy this moment.
Wow.
So that's really...
Thank you. So Chinonso, now, I've heard how it's still, it's difficult, I know, for the three of you. It's, people process grief and pain differently, depending on your, temperament, persona, how recent it is, how capacity do you get. So that's why I always tell people that, you don't judge this person's pain with this person's pain. You don't say this one did, so, but what I just want to ask you is, firstly, what was the, because I hear when people say they lose, especially a spouse, it's like, I feel empty. I feel naked. Like two became one. So at that point, what was your most important thought? Was it that I lost a loved one because I love him? Or some people say when some people grieve, they're not grieving because they love the person. They're grieving because of the security that person gave them. They're grieving because of the money that person gave them. They're not really grieving for the love or, so what was your own point of grief at that particular time?
Oh, gosh. Thank you for that question. That's such a powerful question, and it's very real.
Yes.
And for me, it wasn't so much as I was losing the comfort or the covering that marriage provided, because obviously now everybody was directly watching me, and you know how society just looks at women.
Yes.
And then the reality that you're single again. In fact, when it hit me was one
single again.
My first week at work, and then someone was like, "Baby, he doesn't even know what he did." I'm like, babe, you, like me,
see wire.
And it's also crazy because I had to get a ring and I was wearing it.
You weren't wearing a ring before.
There's a culture that says you throw the ring into the grave.
Okay.
And that's one of the hardest things to do. But I got one after and put on my ring, just to reduce people disturbing and asking questions and what have you. In fact, taking off that ring was another battle
on its own.
On its own. I probably went for like another year before I finally took it off, just being in denial or whatever it was. So for me, it was the one person I wanted to talk to, the one person I had dreamt to share my life with, the one person who understood me. Like, you just feel like he gets me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that person isn't here anymore. So it's more like you're disappointed. So for me, it was like I was just disappointed in myself, in God, in the moment. Like, I had never in my life dreamed. Like, who would think? Nobody goes into marriage thinking that, okay,
One day.
And it's weird because we had this conversation in December, and it was so random. It was so, like, we were just talking about, people dying and leaving, and then I was like, Omo, you're not going anywhere. Me and you are here till old age, and we'll sit by, side to side and hold our hands, and we're like, okay, God, we're ready to go, and we take off. And that was what I said. And I was like, there was an argument of, is it who's supposed to bury her? And it's like, oh no, you're supposed to bury me now. You're younger than me. It's the wife that's supposed to bury. I'm like, who is burying you? We're going to sit down here. And when I'm ready, I'll say, okay, God, now we're ready to go. And then we'll take off. So I didn't go into marriage thinking that I was going to be a widow. And trust me, nobody likes that title.
Yeah.
So it was so much like, I was really disappointed. And the crazy thing is, you asked me if there was a premonition or something.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a dream. And in that dream, it was like, people were asking me out. I'm like, are you mad? I'm married. And they're like, you don't know. I'm like, no, what? Your husband... You see the tongues
in the dream.
From dream, I started blasting in tongues to real life. I was like,
Was he ill at that time?
Nothing. There was nothing. So it's like, Madam, you are disturbing my sleep. I entered the bathroom. Continue. I entered parlor. Continue. So it's almost like, I cast, bind, did everything. We even talked about it, and I was like, he was like, why were you even disturbing? I was like, this is what I dreamt to. We held hands, agreed, did everything.
How long after did he pass away from that dream?
I think it was like a year.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we didn't
cancelled it.
Yes, we had cancelled it, so we didn't doubt. So for me, it wasn't so much that, oh yes, as much as I miss that, I miss having a husband. I miss the covering that having a husband provides. Of course, there's the bills to pay, shared responsibilities and what have you, but that's not even what it is, because I'm standing here today.
Yeah.
But I was just really disappointed.
Wow. I understand. Thank you. So Teddy, did you, when that happened, because she didn't, there was no goodbye, there was no enough time. Like when she slumped, or you heard, so it was 15 days after that she passed away. Did you ever think that I could lose my wife, maybe, at 60, or did you have a premonition? Did you dream? Did anybody make a joke? Were there, sometimes they'll say people that want to die, no. And, they'll be saying stuff. Do you know people who, like, maybe celebrities that have died, sometimes people will place 1 minute video where like Tosin Bucknor, for instance. There was the last interview she had with Trudy where she said, when I'm dead, I want to live my life now, because anybody can die at any time, no matter how much people love you, they will not follow you to the grave. So she was laughing and like, please leave my cola with me, let me drink it and enjoy it now. I don't know, so people were like, maybe she knew, maybe something. Was there, when you remember now in retrospect, was there any time like that when she dropped nugget, or something like that?
No, there was no moment like that. But you talk about these things now. Yes. Some of the things we just talked about playfully.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we're married, I'm like, I'm married now. So somehow, we've actually talked about who's going to die first. Mm-hmm. Seriously, I'm going to be very serious here. We've actually talked about who's going to die first, and I was like, I was like, because of my age and all this, I was always thinking that it was going to be me. And she was like, no. I was like, geez, that's what can you be now? Go compare you do that just playfully like that. So that was just it. So there was I never thought in my wildest, reality right now that because the thing is, for me, it actually took time for me to actually get married too. So people were like, go and marry, like the even like top 10
eligible
bachelors of the 2000s, you know. So I was just taking my time, and then finally God just gave me that one person that I'm one person that I don't really have friends. So I have people I talk to. I have people around, but they're not friends. So you just think I have friends. Just few people as friends. And then that best of the best friend that you now have. She's one person I'm so free to talk to. I'm telling you, there's certain things I'll just tell her. I just tell her that. Because I'm very, very, I don't know, like this, they say Scorpios are very secretive. I don't do the zodiac sign, but somehow I'm beginning to check these things out now because seriously, yeah, I am very me. Yeah. I'm not comfortable just telling people anything about me, but I'm surprised. You're surprising yourself that you're telling somebody something, you're not feeling bad about it. It's like you're not even thinking. So those were the signs that no, this person is the one. This is the one. Yes, the one. This is definitely the one. So for me, I never had that thought that
it would happen.